Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcasting, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
One step closer, you got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you wanna be in life. Why? Closer. You got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you wanna be in life. Take one step at a time to reach your goals.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining in. It is Thursday, we made it here at the table. Thank you so much. This is One Step Closer with your girl Chanie. I am here today, and we have a very good show for today. We have a very special guest in the building today. Look, he up here looking like he not no guest. Please, you are a guest on the show. But yes, so if you can help me welcome. So my special guest today is Miles Dixon. Miles is a mediapreneur who uses various media components together with a vast professional network and Marriott resources in order to connect business people with consumers in their core demographic. Miles owns and operates Pitch Media Group, a Southfield-based marketing firm that specializes in helping businesses operate innovative techniques and creative strategies. He has never worked for anyone in his entire career. Since 1998, Miles has a career in graphic design, multimedia, public and social relations, and dubs him an expert and a media trailblazer. Miles has made a business out of reaching out to people, a formula for success that involves networking, community engagement, and giving away products and services as investments for free. Always full of ideas, its hopes and faith is what keeps Miles inspired and moving forward. He believes that with a teamwork mindset, we can accomplish everything, even on a shoestring budget. So if you can, give a warm welcome to my special guest, Miles Dixon.
Yeah. Yeah. More applause. More applause. All right, that's good.
I so wish I was on the other side to cut your mic. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Miles. How you feeling?
I feel good. I don't know about, you can't really see that new podcast.
Podcastic logo.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. I feel great. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the guests who respectfully said, I cannot come this week. Can you fill in for me? I said, sure.
Yes. Shout out to you for keeping your word. And shout out to her for wanting to come and was going to come. But definitely whenever you get ready, I would love to have you back on the show.
Yeah, that's what's up. She going to be here.
Yes, that's so good. So, Miles, let's get into things. How did you start Pitch Media? Where did that idea come from? And what was the leading force behind it?
Pitch Media began in the beginning with podcast. I mean, with Chanie Media. Chanie Media was my first company that I started in 1999. You weren't even born. Oh, you were just born.
Just getting here.
You were just getting here.
Just touching down for real.
Miss Parker's like, oh, I got a little fluffy fluff.
Yeah. Just literally, she watching too. Hey, Mom.
I know.
Hey, friend.
It's funny to see my name is Guest. Anyway, so...
That's like you a guest on this show, okay?
I guess. No, but yeah, it started then when I wanted to separate Chanie Media because we were just basically known for doing print. So we're saying no more graphics, and we just started getting into television. And so I wanted to start the side of TV where I didn't have to deal with too many people, which was marketing and advertising. So I created Pitch Media for the marketing and advertising division of Chanie Media.
Nice, because you wanted to be able to have your own and have that be a reflection of you on what you started and created. So TV, you had a TV show.
Yes.
What was it called?
Switch Play TV.
Okay, and then who was a part of that, and what was Switch Play?
Switch Play TV was a sketch comedy show, a variety sketch comedy show, and actually we was like we began our own improv troupe. So improv, in case people don't know, is when you can go off script and you can just build a whole scene or build visuals without it being scripted. So we did that, and that's when MySpace was out. And we was actually
talk about a throwback.
We was actually the number one improv troupe on MySpace for like 2.5 years.
Nice. Was it because that wasn't something that most people were doing, or what kind of prompted the improv?
Well, improv troops mainly is made of Caucasians, and they always have one token black person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dwayne Brady. But we was a black improv troupe that we had a token white person. So it was we flipped the script. It was funny. Cool. It was fun. Shout out to Nicole. Nicole was the coolest white girl I've ever met in my life.
Shout out to her.
I met Nicole working at a soul food restaurant.
Look, the irony, you wouldn't say.
And she was so witty on her feet, right? Yeah. And she was able to hang with me. I was like, oh, I need you on my TV show. She said, I quit right now. I said, no. I said, well, you don't want to quit.
Look, we need this more thought out, but just want to put this in your ear.
We definitely want to have you on. And 2 weeks later, she was on Switch Play TV. I always, my vision of a black man in position was a black man in a position that can make things happen. So I was always willing to do. Yes.
So where did that mindset come from? Because it said that you never had a job in your life. Yeah. So you've always been an entrepreneur. So where did that mindset even come from? And who instilled in you that you can do it, that you can be an entrepreneur?
Well, the mindset came from me watching Roots. And I seen how white folks treated black people. Mm-hmm. I'm being very honest with you. I'm very straightforward. So I said, I never wanted to be in that position. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be in a position where a white person could say, get out of here, N-word. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I never put myself in that position because majority of times I never look at working for another black person. However, I would like to set the record straight of when I say I never work, I work for my clients. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I have worked for people, but I never had no one to put something over my head. And when I learned electrical work, shout out to Pepper White, I didn't work for him. He couldn't afford me as a producer of music. So he said, you can come with me and make some extra money. So
and those how networks and connections are made there.
And soon you'll see him and his grandson This is what I mean. I'm in position to do this. Him and his grandson will have a podcast coming on Podcasting Network.
That's good.
Within
Shout out to
next
them.
year. So, yeah.
Shout out to them. So how big is paving the way, mentorship, or just putting people in position, kind of setting them up? What weight does that hold for you, being able to have a platform that allows people to do that?
It means a lot. I always had a platform. That's the thing. I always built things where people could benefit from, and not just me. To have the ability to think of something and do it is important, and to see other people like Mark, yourself, Gigi, Rhea, and to have the ability to do so, I think it's incredible, and I think it's dope. I'm just glad that I am a part of y'all's success. And shout out to my mentor, Andrew Wallace. He always says, son, I just want to be a part of your success.
Yeah.
He never once was like, yeah, remember, I did a favor for you.
Yeah, and I think we need to really hold those people close and respect them, because they are just looking out for us and want us to win and putting our best interest first. So with that being said, you need those people around, because there's too many snakes in the grass, the haters, the people that are, want you to win but never want you to do better than them.
And the sad part is, whether people believe it or not, those people are needed in your life. People need to show somebody what you mean. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To where you can not rubbing their face like nah.
Yeah,
but
where does a badge of honor? Like I did this. Where does a badge of honor?
Yeah, because what happens is a lot of times those are people who are just afraid to do what they wanted to do, and you just had the gall or the courage to do it, and you did it. And then later you'll see themselves, they might be older than you, but they be like, remember I said I wanted to be, I'm taking painting classes right now.
That's so good.
Thank you. You know what I mean?
You be the silent inspiration.
I mean, but that's what you do. You do be the people a lot of times when you do what they was always afraid to do. A lot of people be afraid to do what they always wanted to do. My TV show started out, shout out to Nat Morris, Captain Geek.
Shout out to him.
He's the creator of the scene, right? When I went to him, I said, "Now I want you to produce my show." He told me a crazy price. This story is also in my book I wrote called The Business Bible. You know what I mean? The Book of Carter, where I took excerpts from Jay-Z verses and showed people how he was talking about business. But he was like, well, if you think it's so easy, here, I give you your first videos. Well, I did it, and then I made my video show. Well, our TV show, my TV show became our TV show, which was Nate and Melissa Talbot's TV show, because it was my cohorts and everything I'd done.
That's so good. And not to cut you off, but every time that you always talk about how you've helped someone else, you always insert the word we. It's never I, it's never my, it's never mine, it's always me, ours. We, our establishment, our team, whatever the case may be. So I feel like that's important too, as
that's very important.
A leader, in a leadership role, to not let the title really cloud your character, really.
Girl, you getting good at this interview and shit. No, you absolutely correct. The reason why I think that's the difference. That's how you could tell the difference between a dictator and a leader. And then when you get around people,
that's good.
When you get around people who will understand the difference of being shrewd. I never learned how to become shrewd until 2016 in business. So this is only my 9th year of being shrewd. And there's nothing wrong with being shrewd in business. Being shrewd actually gives you more direction.
Yeah, it may be necessary sometimes.
No, it's necessary all the time. I tell anybody who learn how to be shrewd in the beginning.
Yes, Miles is my guest today. I mean me.
Being shrewd only means knowing which way you want to go. It's just being direct.
So it's just being intentional.
Yeah, hell yeah. Because when you start saying maybe I'm gonna try, you getting everybody into your business, then their business become yours, and you send it like, I don't have no part of that. You know what I mean? When you saying maybe, now they sticking around. You think today could be the day?
Yeah.
And so
You never know.
I'm just learning to say, if you can't do something, just say you cannot do it.
And that's okay.
And it's okay.
Yes, and it's okay. So within business, what is one of the best pieces of advice that you've received that allowed you to keep going in business?
Never give up. Never quit. Because your greatest rewards come when you're at your lowest. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen it or had that happen to you. You was down to your last money, or you had no money. Then you look down, you find $100 bill. You be like, wait a minute. Because
it don't be making sense, but definitely be thankful for it.
It never makes sense. Your vision would never make sense to others. You know what I mean?
That's why it's yours.
And that's why it's yours. And you can never expect for people to just follow you. However, there will be people who want to do things that you're doing that they was too afraid to do. That one could latch on and get on and say, hey, listen, I can help. I can do this part. Look, I got 4 hours out of a week. Mm-hmm. Then you have some people like, I could be there every day. Then you have some people be like, I got to get paid if I'm going to be there and you be like, well, there ain't no money in it. And then they be like, ah. But then you have some people who say, well, listen, if you let me come there and do what I do, I can make my own money and help you.
A win is a win.
And then you be like, cool, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you have some people who be so selfish to where they box their own self out and they don't show. Period. So. I
agree with that for sure. So who would you say is one of your biggest inspirations?
My mama. Mm. My mama. Simple as that. My mother's so dope. She was a single parent mother, but she was so dope. Like, everybody was like, well, I don't know how to call Florence. Flo know how to do it.
She just knew.
And if she couldn't do it, she knew somebody who could do it.
And that's so commendable, though. Just think about as a kid, our parents, we think they're superheroes. We think they know everything. They supposed to have the answers. So to look up to your mom and see others looking up to her like you looked up to her, like, dang, they depending on my mom. They need my mom.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, and I'm sure that was a good feeling for her too, to feel like she could help people.
Well,
or express and shine her light.
She'll help you, but don't play with her.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
Please don't bite the hand that feeds you. I feel like that's everybody. I'm not mad at it.
It was a couple of families. It was a couple of families in the neighborhood who my mother fed often. You know what I mean? But she never once held it over their head.
Yeah.
My mother used to run the number, so she hit the lottery. She'd be like, "Hey, come on, we gonna go shopping." So I'm like that. Like,
and you'll forever be blessed, and I'm sure she was. So you'll be forever blessed, being a blessing. So
I agree. Even in my darkest times, I'm still blessed, because in my darkest time, I can still people understand about darkness. Darkness still has light.
It does.
It might not have
maybe a little faded, but it's still there.
It's still light, and sometimes you have to use what you have. And most people will be like, oh, my God, I don't have no money. I don't got no car.
Hey, Mom.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't get my first car until I was like 30. Mm-hmm. But I always had people. And
you made a way.
I always made a way.
So
God always made a way for me to see that things is not bad. Because things is bad when you losing fingers because you got to catch the bus because of frostbite, right? Things is bad when you don't have a soul that you could count on.
Now that is true.
So, yeah.
And that's the thing. People think that blessings is only in the form of finances, and I need people to understand that just may be a little bit more time on your life. That may be more time on your kids' life. That may be, like you said, opening up your refrigerator, or being able to get a meal or have a meal, and being able to have people that's truly in your corner. That to me, can supersize or supersede just financial, just money, because that's a tool that can come and go. And speaking of your inspirations and speaking of podcasting, what do you do, or what brings you or gives you that motivation when you maybe are not getting funded for businesses kind of early on? What is your driving and motivating factor?
I'm not going to sit up here and act like this ain't real for me. I haven't had motivation in a while.
And that's okay.
But seeing you grow in your endeavors and seeing other people grow, whether they believe that they're growing or not. But I know that you're a way better interviewer than most people. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
The fact that you at least want to look at yourself on camera before you go
I gotta
on,
come correct.
is important. But my motivation hasn't been motivating lately. I've been more motivated into building my health, getting my health together in
Shout
order,
out to the herbs.
because I can't do nothing without my health.
Yes.
So I've been learning a lot more. I've been reading a whole lot more than I have ever been reading in the past 5-6 years of my life, because my health. So I've been doing herbs. So I've been making a whole bunch of herb tea. Shout out to anybody who don't know how to they came there.
Shout out to marketing. The women's.
And for anybody who can't sleep, I got one herb thing I gotta tell y'all. Chamomile, lavender, lemon balm, and they call it tulsi, but it's really basil. It's nothing but basil. You may make a tea out of that.
You're gonna get some good sleep. And that can really set your day up for success. Just having a proper sleep, let alone what you eating, just the sleep alone, just the rest.
I woke up at 3:30 today. I sat up for 30 minutes and did my exercise, and I got right up at 4:45. Like, I'm ready. I felt good.
That's good.
And I didn't go to bed till
sometimes-
11:30.
Oh yeah. Sometimes that fight to get out of the bed in the morning, it does come from the night before not getting the proper sleep and
I
rest.
wish I get the night not proper rest or sleep. Never mind.
Shout out to the herbs.
Shout out to the herbs.
But yeah, so because Miles is such a hardworking man and barely has time to rest, which he's trying to do a little bit more of. And speaking about health and things like that, back in 2014, Miles did have a stroke. Do you mind kind of elaborating on that? Maybe what were the signs? Were there any early signs to that?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. There were signs in the beginning because I had high blood pressure.
Okay.
So I got tired of taking pills. At this particular time, I was taking up to 7 pills. And I'm out of juice. You know, everybody talking about this juice, and I'm out of juice. So in the process, and early in July of that year, I went in the hospital because my blood pressure was like 240 over 148 or something. And so this is the first time they ever had to give me nitroglycerin to lower my blood pressure. And the doctor he was an Oriental dude. He's like, oh my God, what you doing? I said, I don't know. I've been juicing, so I didn't think this would happen to me. And then he said, because I went in because when I went to go use the restroom, it was red. So I'm thinking, oh my God, my kidney's about to go.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And so.
And don't hop on Google.
The
funeral tomorrow. Please.
First of all, and so I went to the restroom and he said, yo, you got to pee in this cup. And I went to go pee in the cup so they take my sample. And it was red. It was still red in there. I was like, he's like, oh, this not good. I said, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, and so I said, hold on, wait a minute. I have been juicing. Is it because I've been drinking beet juice? He was like, no, don't be silly. No. And so they gave me a second one. After he said that, my blood pressure even went higher. He gave me another nitroglycerin thing. So I took 2. I took 2 within 25 or 35 minutes. And he said, we're trying to get your blood pressure down. It seems like we can't do it. So I said, let me lay my punk ass down and just relax. I relaxed. He started coming down. He came back. Oh, my son, so sorry. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dixon. It is such thing as this. The dye in the beat, or the color of the beat, was coming through my urine because my stomach didn't produce enough acid to break down the colorization of the foods I ate.
Yeah.
So now I start to relax, like, you dummy. You know, I'm looking at the...
Yeah, well, that's a sigh of relief because you going to them because you think they got the answers.
And I'm thinking my kidneys are failing.
Yeah.
So from that, and plus people don't understand when you juice, your veins is not the same neither because you're still not you're not really still getting the true nutrients you should get to have your veins up and running. And that was my first sign of maybe I haven't been taking care of myself.
Okay, but you didn't think nothing along the lines of it was going to result into a stroke. You're just like, okay, I need to take better care of myself and monitor my blood pressure.
Never monitor my blood pressure. My blood pressure stayed high, so I'm like, cool. But this one particular day, I didn't eat nothing the day before. Right? And so I had to rush in to do an obituary for somebody about 9:30 at night, 9:30 in the morning. So I'm doing the obituary. He don't have nothing. He's still getting stuff emailed to him. So I'm finishing up. So my left arm just slumped. I was like, and I'm going through a gout attack. Gout hitting my left leg already. So
that left side.
So I was like, so it hit me, and I was like, hell no, what the hell going on? Then I tried to pick up my phone. And I dropped it. My iPhone though. Back then, iPhones would break real quick.
Yeah, glass
so
destroyed.
I was like, hell no. So I literally had to grab my left hand, my left arm, and lift it up. So I'm holding my phone like this. So now I'm putting my phone over, and I said, I think I'm having a stroke, sir. He went on Google. He was like, he's Mexican.
Please.
No, brother, you're fine. This stroke. I said, man, I think I'm having a stroke because I can't do nothing with his arm.
Right.
I said, as soon as I send this over to Kinko's, can you take me to the hospital? He said, sure. So I did so, and then when he wheeled me, when he took me in, I realized I was messed up because I could not move. When he was like, okay, we're here. I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it still just the left side that could move, or at that point was it the legs or the whole body by that point?
At this point, I'm having a gout attack in my left leg already.
Okay.
So what I've learned is when you having things like a stroke, my left leg was already being attacked. So your body like, oh, that shit was already dead anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kept going. So he had to literally help me out the vehicle, and they had to come with the gurney to his car, and that's the last time I even seen him. Right, but at the same time, they wheeling me in, and they wheeling me into a room. They're like, "Oh, stat, we need this stat," and I'm hearing stat. I'm like, I said, I can't die and receive it.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just not.
Stay out of all hospitals.
I'm not willing to die and receive it.
Yeah.
Only dope fiends and anyway. So
it's never good then.
It was never good. And then when they wheeled me into the emergency room, the emergency area room, they already had, it was blood and everything on the floor. They just dealt with a gunshot victim.
Ooh.
And so, fellas, the saying that they say keep clean drawers on, wear clean drawers.
No, I swear, I've always heard of that just for anybody because they say if you're not right, that's the day you're gonna have to go. You got the mixed match socks and the whole thing.
I was John Wayne in this day. So, because I had to rush, I was first thing in the morning, you know what I mean? I didn't even brush my teeth.
Mark looking at you like, oh, okay, that's what you had to do?
I had the same drawers on and everything. So the funny part about it was, like, Miss Dixon, we got to get your underwear down. I was like, hold on. But
He's like, can y'all step out and give me the little gown?
No, it wasn't no stepping out. Everything was stacked. They were like, Dixon, we got to take down your pants. And I was like this, and look, I'm having a stroke, mind you. I'm grabbing my left hand, like, with my right hand, like, no. And so I said, hey, brother. I said, excuse me. You should understand this.
Excuse me.
I got the same drawers I had on yesterday, and my feet funky too, so.
He's like, I just had some feet. Okay, that's the least of the worries.
He said, sir, we trying to save your life.
Okay.
We don't care about this. We've seen way worse situations.
I'm sure.
So I said, all right. And then this beautiful black woman.
Of course.
Come in and stand over me to my
hey, Mr. Dixon.
And I'm like, I said, oh my God. When I say she's drop dead gorgeous, I said, you don't see my drawers.
Looks like say out of all days.
I said, you can't see my drawers, can you? She was like,
hey, Candace. No, really though, like.
Yeah, and so she said, I'm not worried about your underwear, Mr. Dixon. We're trying to save your life. Tell me what happened.
Yeah.
So they did these tests about my strength, and my left hand was gone. It was
yeah.
And she said, with your medication, I told her, she said, wow, you had taken all this because of high blood pressure. So you need to find a new doctor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so she was like, listen, we're going to do the best we can to get your blood pressure down, but we got to get it down now. I said, do what you can. Do as much. But then she was talking about, we can't, so if we cannot, how about
Sorry,
this?
I'm
not doing right. She said, so if we cannot get an IV in your arm, we have to go through your penis. I said, listen, can this...
Okay.
I was like, dude, please.
Are you normally a hard poke?
No, I'm an easy one. But no.
Can't be serious for 2 seconds.
I said, can you put one in my hand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was like, we can't see no, and it was just, I was like, come on. I said, God, please.
You pumping that fist?
I pump my fist.
Pumping fist,
then,
anything.
But she wanted to get, okay,
like
I want some
ass.
ass.
Yeah.
But she got, they got one in my arm up under here.
Okay.
And so it worked. But from that day on, I vouched that real men take their meds.
Yes,
because,
they do. Cause y'all, we need y'all here, right? And y'all got people and families and kids that y'all are living for as well. So I know that, you know, black men always say that life hits them hard and people, you know, kind of just beating up on them. Life happens, but we need you here. We want you here, and just take care of yourselves. Take the meds. Literally, we love y'all, black men.
That's dope. Thank you. And I think people need to know that they're appreciated again.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah. So that was the day I had a stroke. I remember it like it was yesterday.
So what was one of the biggest lessons that going through that health challenge, what did it teach you? Or what did you come out on the other side?
You are responsible for you. And no matter what you say or do, you have to be man and or woman enough to be accountable for that. That's why me getting to the herbs and everything is me being accountable, me learning more about me. And now you got ChatGPT, so now you can say. So another thing I had to come up with was learn the herbs that don't react in a bad fashion to my medication. And I was learning one of my herbs is one of the reasons why my blood pressure was still high.
Right. And you thinking that you're doing things to help.
Yeah.
You know, because we thinking herbs, we thinking a healthier option, but you do have to take the time to read this, because we don't read the side effects and things that are in our medicine.
Yeah.
Until things go wrong, and then we just like, it got to be that medicine.
And you don't, it clicked in my head earlier this week, like, it does make sense. If God meant for you to use herbs, but man is making medicine, there's certain things that's not going to go together.
Yes.
And so that's what I did. Regardless, even with exercise, but they always say, ask your physician. You be like, my physician ain't going to work out with me.
That's true.
So if a physician, well, you can't really work because you got a bad heart. Well, how am I going to get a good heart?
Okay. You can't baby the situation. And that's one of the things that I even had to realize. I wanted to take everything that the doctor said with a grain of salt. Like, I literally was like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do it this way. They said this. I got to take this milligram.
Man.
But when I actually was like, I need to advocate for myself, because they asking me, how do I feel? They're asking me what's going on, or tell me this or tell me that, so that they can take my blood and then do further lab work, or, you know, CAT scans, MRIs, whatever the case may be. They're doing that to try to figure out what's wrong. So
doctors are doctors, but they are practitioners of medicine.
Yeah.
They are practice on you. They practice on us as much as they can.
Yes, for sure. So did you feel like after your stroke, do you feel like you were a new version of yourself, or how was living after that?
I mean, it just made me be more aware. I got better on being aware of my body. Now I have muscle neuropathy. That's my biggest problem, because I always was real fit. I was always a real fit person, athletically, and then sitting at a desk for 20 plus years, my muscles never reached their full potential. So they begin to lapse, begin to weaken. And muscle neuropathy is no joke. That's why I'm like my journey on the herbs, to learn more, to
The
realize
holistic approach.
the holistic approach. God would never. It was no sense for God to give us blessings, but let man be in control of our destiny. That don't make sense to me.
That was good.
And it's just bottom line. God gave us everything on earth for us to use.
Yes.
But we trust in another man to give us the cure.
Yeah. That's what's like, because we
Doesn't make
thinking
sense.
we entrusted them so much that they just know the way, know the answer, and we don't take the time to do the research and things ourselves, because we are entrusting, like you said, in man. We're entrusting in a doctor just because of their title, to be able to tell us, okay, what's gonna make us better, what's gonna at least put us on a path to healing or being better. So
I believe we gonna move in the direction within the next 10 years where modern day medicine is not gonna be so modern no more.
I can agree.
It's gonna be real doctors who understand, like, we are really cheating ourselves and killing our customers. So how about we just know what we know about bone breaking and immediate pain relief? Because a lot of things, when God wants you to heal things, your body is, when it rests, it heals and start to regenerate certain blood cells, regenerate things, purify blood when it's healing itself. So why would God say, hey, you know what to do? You know what I mean? And we have things like Big Pharma who tells us, hey, run to the store and get a flu shot.
Yeah, exactly. Putting all these things in us. And I think that I agree with that point of, in a few years there won't even be modern day medicine, only because things can be prescribed to us now, but people are telling doctors like, hey, I need another milligram, I need another dosage, this is too high, this is too low, I'm not feeling right, I'm feeling jittery, I don't like this. So even though they're prescribing us the medicine, we're still stepping up and being like, hey, something not right.
We be in their data.
Yeah, pretty much. This a little shaky, I don't like how I'm feeling. Like, we're telling them what it is. So if we're able to do that and make those distinctions, I feel like we can get to a point where we're doing the research and we're having the herbs and things like that to make us progress moving forward.
And there's people who living outside of the United States who never seen a doctor.
That is true.
But they living to be 90 to 100 years old.
Yes. Candace said they're making so much money off of prescribing medication. When you say yes, when you begin to take it, when you refill it, the cycle, it's endless. And it truly is.
It is. And it's sickening, because even through my bout, when I found out I had cancer, right? When I found out I had cancer, I went and I got a second opinion. Mm-hmm. He was like, due to your history in medicine, your medical history, I think I got something that could really help you out. And then when he did it, he gave me chemo pills. He just prescribed me to chemo pills. Mm-hmm. My first take of it, I stayed in that studio for 7 to 8 hours, throwing up, shaking, vomiting.
Yeah.
queeving, what you call
The
that?
side effects.
You know,
Yeah,
heaving to where I went to the doctor the next day.
Yeah.
He said, your blood pressure medicine is causing this too. Mm-hmm. He said, so we gonna lower all your dosage for the next month.
And you have to speak up and say stuff like that. Yeah. Advocate for yourself. Yeah. Second opinions are definitely the way to go. And Candace also said that's why they want to shut TikTok down. So many doctors are telling the truth now because TikTok is paying more than their jobs. And that's why I stand by TikTok, and I know that it is a lot of things that because they're in the medical world, it's a lot of things they can't say just for the fear of their license and things like that. But when they're on a platform where they can be free and be open and they're not hushed or silenced by a corporation, they're able to actually give you those tips and tricks and be like, hey, this is all a lie. So everything that you was pretty much learning, you have to unlearn. You have to get conditioned to what it is actually supposed to be. So Miles, I know you said that over the course of years you were really sitting at a desk, and that would cause the muscle weakness,
neuropathy.
Neuropathy.
Yeah.
The neuropathy. So what were you doing at a desk?
I was doing graphics.
Okay.
doing nothing but graphics and podcasting.
Okay.
And so
how did graphics come about?
Oh, graphics came about in like 1998. So it could have been right before like 96 probably. I would say 98. So I went to a friend of mine, asked him to do an album cover. Just put that plug in. I went to a friend of mine and asked him could he do an album cover for me. And in the process of me asking him to do the album cover, he told me $750. I said, oh, well.
Okay.
I said, that's a no, that's a negative. I said, well, can I just, can I come to your office and learn from you? He said, sure. And so I was with him for 2 days. So I'm watching everything he do for 2 days. I asked him one question, what is that? He said, the eraser tool. He said, once you learn your tools, you basically can create your own world. Okay, create my own world, number 2 school. So I ain't come this third day. He said, man, I thought you were trying to learn. I said, well, I am. He said, what you doing? I said, I'm doing graphics. He laughed, he giggled, he laughed. Okay, man, will you be here tomorrow? I said, yeah. I came the next day, showed him my album cover. He said, now who do you pay to do this? I was like, nobody, I did it. He said, you did this. He said, where your zip disk at? I said, oh, right here. And he opened it up, he was like, oh.
He couldn't believe it.
He was like, you really, bro, you learned how to, you did this? I was like, yeah. He said, oh, you already know how to do this before you came to me. No, I didn't. You was showing me.
I just learned my tools.
Right, definitely learned my tools. And then once I learned my tools, what you gave me the tip about just learning my tools, I created my own world. As soon as I hung up with you, I probably did this, it took me like 40 minutes.
You locked in on it.
He was like, 40 minutes? He was like, wait a minute, 40 minutes? I was like, yeah. He said, you lying. I said, well, everything you're doing here is time stamped up. He was like, 42 minutes. I was like, yeah, it's 42 minutes. And from that point on, I just started doing it, and then people started asking me to do stuff, and I started my own graphic company, and I wound up hiring him.
Listen.
So, yeah.
That's like why. So, what was the name of the graphics?
Say No More Graphics.
Say No More Graphics.
But now it's called Incredible.
Incredible.
So how important is it to rebrand? I know that you kind of did a few things when it comes to name switches as far as a TV show.
Yes.
Now we're hearing it with this. So how important is it to rebrand?
Rebranding is different. It's a different mindset for me. I just look at it as important because when people get familiarity will breed content. When people feel like they know you or they think they know your work, oh, I know what I'm gonna get with them. You know what I mean? It's some people that I've done graphics for to where they was unsatisfied, like, oh, I don't like that, but they didn't give me no direction. So I'm like,
I have nothing to go off of.
Yeah. So when I was looking for something different, how do I know what's different for you? So they're like, well, that's a good question. So they'll find somebody else. I got a whole crew that find other people to do their graphics, which is crazy to me. And then when I see the graphics that they find, that's what you settle for.
Yeah, it's always gonna be quality over quantity.
Well,
each and every time.
Most important, this is what they settle for. When I know I was definitely one of the best graphic designers in the whole damn state damn near. When it came to black art or black look or black marketing, I was one of the best there was. I think I told you, Chanie, I don't thrive to be good. I thrive to be the best. Because if you thrive to be the best, and even if you miss your best mark, it's still gonna be the best of what other people look at. So, and that's what I thrive for every single time. That's why I look at podcasting. Podcasting is probably the best podcasting group of people that we have in our nearby area.
I can honestly say that.
Yeah,
and not even because I'm a part of the team.
Right.
But because it's really, we got some talent here.
Yeah. And the things that we're able to do, people be like, wow.
Yeah, I be feeling like I be in the future when I go to the different conferences and people be like all at the tables. I be feeling like I'm, like beyond our years. But it's good to see because people embrace it. They ask questions. They want to know. They're intrigued. So just to be able to be that example for other people and to let them know, like, hey, collaboration over competition, that type of thing. Shout out to Ms. Rhea for that. But
that's why when you ask me that question, what makes me do certain things? That's what makes me do certain things. It's just to be the best in that field. We have never been not less than the best. The TV show, no one still have done what we've done with TV. People still have not done what we've done even with graphics, with printing. It's just that my vision has always been to be the best and not be better than a person, but be better than.
Because you can still be humble, but also be confident.
Always.
It's definitely a difference.
There's nothing that I cannot do when I say I'm gonna do it. And if I say I'm gonna do something, I can do it. See, the difference of other people versus who I am, other people have to hire other people for the job to get done.
Because some people just simply don't know. And when you don't know, the next best option is to pay to get somebody that does know.
Well, that's a great look on it. What I look at it is some people just want to be better than the person that they even hire.
That's true.
So I don't want to be better than the person that I hire or work with. I don't want employees no more. I really want partners. Because having employees, I don't want no one to feel like they're less than me. I want everyone, anybody, my old team at Chanie, I made sure everybody was better than me. They had to be better than me.
That's real. Even if it wasn't in the same thing, just in something.
Yes, if they weren't better than me, it didn't make no sense for them to be on the team.
I agree.
Because if I get sick or if I die or something like that, who can keep it going?
Yeah.
And if the answer is just, oh no, then I'm not doing it right. I'm not with the right people.
Exactly. And those are things that you do have to think about when you do have a business. Just who would take over? Are you in position to make things shake? Can things run when you're not there? Do you have a trustworthy team? All of those things are things that are in business. So regarding your business, for the graphics, what does creating look like for you? And what do you feel like a good graphic designer should have eye-wise? What should they be looking out for?
They should know what's in the marketplace and what they're designing. When I design with marketing in mind. So I don't design just because what Bob's like. I design with what's called for in the marketplace.
Okay.
So if I'm doing design for a place to carry out, I would not have a logo in colors of green and purple. It will be definitely some red, some yellows, and some white splash in there. Because that's, if you look at most majority of logos, anybody who's watching us, you ride down the main street, and all the fast food restaurants you're seeing always got yellow, red, you know what I mean, and a splash of blue. Colors, knowing the colors of marketing. Red and yellow has been used in marketing for years to show urgency. Hunger is yellow, you know what I mean? Red is the urgency of it.
Yeah, it does.
Blue is the family orientation of it. That's why Culver's Burgers is we're a family burger restaurant. Walmart, blue. If you ever see blue, that means family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Green, of course, either financial or growth or something dealing with growing. So when it comes to graphic designers, they definitely need to work with a premier software, which 9 times out of 10 is going to be Photoshop. And that way, Photoshop is probably the safest software you're ever going to use, because you can pick up what somebody left off on.
Because it auto-saves. But don't forget to save yourself.
Please, you need to save. But it has what you call a PSD. It's a Photoshop document, to where it's an editable document in that software, and anybody that has software can edit that project. Canva, on the other hand, is what you call a consumer-based software, and it's not meant for professionals. Can it be professionally used? Yes, because I can work the hell out of something on Canva and make it look great. But majority of people who make things look good on Canva, they're like, that's it. When you ask them, well, can you make this happen? I don't know about that.
It wasn't a part of the original too. I don't know.
It wasn't part of the original platform, no.
Yeah, I can agree. Photoshop does allow you to be more free and really create in that space. Literally have a blank sheet to do whatever. And like you said, Canva is a little bit more template based to kind of help you get going, but Photoshop does kind of allow you to be just more open and free with your design. So, Miles, I know you wear many of hats, one of those being the music world.
Oh, Lord.
The music world is one of those hats that you wear. So what is one of your favorite songs, and how did you even get hooked up in music, in the music world? Why was music a passion for you?
Music became a passion for me from breaking, from dancing.
Okay.
I was more of a dancer. I was a break dancer in a waver, a water waver. My name used to be called too soon. My name was originally Doc Wave.
Doc Wave.
It came. Hold on, listen. So this is so dope. I wound up meeting my dancing idol. His name is Mr. Wave.
Mm-hmm. Really?
He was on Beach Street, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember the guy who broke it all the way down.
Yeah.
I wound up meeting him.
Oh, that was his name, Mr. Wave? Okay.
Yeah, I wound up meeting him 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's dope.
I was at
in Baltimore?
No, at the Westin Hotel eating lunch. And I was like, bro, he was saying, man, you a smooth brother. You got these women eating out of your hands at the bar. I was like, man, look, that come from me. Yeah, maybe they saw me water waving. He just bust out laughing. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know I dance for a living. I'm like, how would I know that? Because he's about, I'm 50, I was 52. He was 60, 62. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, I'm Mr. Wave. You probably see me on Beach Street. I said, what? And he broke that down right there, all the way down to his ankle. I was like, oh my God.
I still like seeing the competitions when the old heads be doing the old heads. I'm like, okay, you had some back in the day, even though you can't be down like that no more.
But he's still on tour.
Yeah, oh, for real? Yeah,
that's
exactly what you're talking about.
He don't spin or break dance, but he still water wave and slide and glide. And I wound up meeting him.
Nice.
And I told him a story about how I got into the music business was through dancing. It's funny. And then I became a DJ. And then I felt like one of the rappers I was DJing for, he gonna say, man, see, you lucky you can't do what I do. I said, nigga, I'm a wordsmith. What you talking about? I won all kind of writing, creative writing contests. Mm-hmm. And so one day I wrote rap, and he looked at me like, man, we should become a group.
Shout out to Boom City, the Vancouver Kansas.
Shout out to Boom City.
That's probably one of my favorite songs that Miles has
Done, Boom City.
Boom City. If you guys can check that out on YouTube, it was from a while ago. He was actually up and dancing, but it's a good song.
It is.
And in fact, I feel like that's good. The fact that you can reach me at a younger age, and I wasn't even born no time around it, but
you was born. That was 2007.
Was I?
I did it in 2000.
That was 2007. Yeah.
Why did it seem like it was before? Okay, well, I was born, but the fact that it still grabs my attention now, just like some older songs that didn't come out, like the 90s songs that y'all be listening to. I'm like, okay, I can get with y'all house party music, but
one of my favorite songs is Boom City because that was one of the songs I dedicated to a pioneer of hip hop here with Detroit's Most Wanted. They had a song called City of Boom. So I did a tribute. My tribute or my contribution to them, their legacy was Boom City. But my favorite song is on my album called Something the Lord Made. Was a song I dedicated to my mother called Me and Mrs. Jones.
Mrs. Jones.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Shout out to that. I love music. I love that you're able to express and use that as an outlet, a positive outlet to be able to get whatever emotion, happy, sad, angry, you know,
Actually,
you can literally put it in a song.
When I did my my record release, that was a song I could not finish.
Wow.
I wrote it and cried.
And sometimes that makes for the best songs. The songs where you actually hear.
But you don't supposed to be a rapper breaking down crying.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
But,
no, I'm just like.
But my brother got on stage with me and started rocking with me.
Yeah,
So
that's the real ones to understand. Miles, you got so much going on. Please plug Daddy I Love Him.
Oh yeah, movie.
Okay,
Daddy I Love Him.
has a movie too.
Yeah, I wrote a movie called Daddy I Love Him. Originally it was a play, it was a stage play. I wrote in 2014. Came out in 2014, right before my stroke. I had a stroke. Right before my stroke, that winter of November, we wound up doing it. And shout out to, that was one of the first plays, Melissa and them. We didn't have to, I raised money through sponsorship. I didn't have to come out of my pocket. I put $100 in cash down, then Microsoft. And Comcast gave me money and paid for my play.
A win is a win.
A win was definitely a win.
Shout out to those businesses. I feel like they really do want to support.
What happened?
You know, they just need the information. That's fine. We feel good. But a lot of places.
I'm acting like a real guest. What happened?
Look, you hear me? I know we gonna run through it.
Right.
But no, yeah.
I don't know what's looking like that.
Yeah, no, it's.
No, it's cool. No, we ain't worried about that.
Oh.
So, my marketing, what I supposed to do. But yeah, when you ask that question, definitely Me and Mrs. Jones on my album. And that was my first and only single solo album ever. So it took me 2 weeks to do it, and that was it. It was a time in my life where everybody knew my heart was in music, and I had to prove to some people like I still got it. And Melissa was like, Miles, look, I'm gonna give you 2 weeks. Don't you come in this office unless you record.
Yeah.
You can't come in, you can't work, you can't
need
do nothing.
people like that that's gonna push you because they know that you have something greater in you, even if you can't see it at the moment.
Well, they know. Well, actually, she heard somebody talking trash about me in the office. Like, Miles too old to do music. Too old. Too old.
Music has no age.
No, shout out. I'm gonna tell you what. Shout out to Wipeout, rest his soul. He had said something like, "My man, Doc too old to do no music." You know what I mean? Yeah. And plus, he don't do no gangster stuff. So I wound up doing a street. It's not gangster, but a street song called "Tell Me You From Detroit." And when he heard it, he came in. He like, "Who is that?" I said, "That's me." He said, "You lying."
So you had to have receipts back then
and
too. Everybody.
Then I started rapping, and he was like, "Man, that's it, man. Let me get a copy."
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, a couple more people started, "Hey man, I want a copy on that." I was like, niggas like, "Man, you need to go ahead and do an album."
At this point.
And I was like, "Bet."
So what makes a good song?
It has to be relatable.
I agree.
Yeah. If it's not relatable, that's why "Dear Mama" is still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And "Dear Mama" is probably the only rap song you ever heard Prince one that you want to redo.
Yeah, that still hold weight to this day. Even I like it. That's what I'm
Being
saying.
mama.
Those songs that can reach.
So even though you was
majority of
you was a
generations.
black queen, even though you was a crack fiend, mama, you always be a
Always was a
black queen,
queen.
mama. Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, the clips, Birds Don't Sing. That's how
Birds
that's how
Don't
that
Sing.
song is
Yeah.
becoming to me.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
one for you,
That'd be
Mark. That
always listen to. Well,
That's an
Yeah.
new album.
yeah.
That's
It's about them losing both of their parents.
Parents,
Yes,
yeah.
and it's a
And,
beautiful song.
and the two brothers who started living two different lives, lost both of their parents.
Yeah.
That's what make it deep to me.
I definitely feel like being relatable is definitely what makes a good song. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's gonna make you want to replay it over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Miles, what is one piece of advice that you would give to the listeners to let them know that they are one step closer to any dream, goal, aspiration that they have? What advice would you give them?
Go for it. It's only one advice that I would give to them is go for it. And don't let nobody discourage you. And even in the midst of discouragement, you have to find some energy to pull through. I know I spoke with that. I don't have I didn't have no motivation. But sometimes you don't need motivation. Sometimes you just need the accomplishment, completion, something. And then you need to hear and
Because
see.
that whole way too, just
Yeah.
completing something,
Yeah.
not only starting but also completing.
And then when you see people react to you and what you done,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's gonna give you energy.
Yes.
You'll be like, oh my
I
God.
gotta keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, just do it. I mean, Nike has Nike has
We always
the
say
best
Yeah.
slogan in the world. It's just do it. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care if you believe in Jesus, Buddha,
It's
Muhammad,
relatable.
Allah.
Just do it.
Do it. Because if you don't do it, you would never show yourself that it can be done. And then once you do it, you will find that God will show you like, oh, now you've done it. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
I know he'd be looking down at us like, you see why I had you go through what you had to go through? And we'd be like,
and guess
yeah.
what? And guess what? Sometimes God ain't looking down. God is right in the midst of where you at.
That is true.
You be sitting there, because when you be having that feeling where you just want to bust out crying, you know, that ain't nothing but God saying, listen.
That's it.
Get
Because
it
you feel like
done.
you done held so much in. That's why when you cry, it feels like that release. And
Yeah.
then usually after a cry, you do one or two things. It's like it motivates you, and then it gets you to the point where you want to make some type of action plan. Like, okay, I can't keep crying about this. I'm gonna have to make a change. And you typically move after that big cry and big release. So
Very true. Maybe we need to.
don't look at it as a weak and or vulnerable state. Just look at it as a releasing and cleansing state.
I don't look at nothing as everything is a lesson when you don't get what you need.
Oh, for sure. You're going to have to see that again. You definitely going to see it again until you pass it. And that is what I am learning about the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
You're going to see it again.
You're going to see it again.
You're going to see them again. You're going to see the lesson again. You're going to see the problem again. You see another face. So you have to listen. So you don't have to keep repeating these patterns, and you can elevate.
That word
Elevate.
listen holds a lot of weight.
It does.
You have to listen. You can't say God did this, God did that, and you don't listen.
Yes.
Because in order for you to get the order, your marching orders to do it, you have to listen.
Exactly.
If God said, I need them, you have to go get them. If God said, I don't even want to go into the...
Because sometimes it's
to
bigger
that
than you.
part.
Even when you don't want to, you still have to listen.
Majority of everything in life is going to be
Bigger than you, for sure.
It's just going to how you going to handle it.
Yeah, because it may be somebody young, like, I gotta talk to them, I gotta say something to them, I gotta deliver a message whole time. It was meant for you to be the one to do it.
When I did my first
Have to
speech,
listen.
I created a business conference called the Black Advantage in 2011. When I did that, I called on my brother Bedford. I met one of my mentors, Andrew Morrison, at the conference that we came from with TV. He said, I come there When I told people Andrew Morrison come, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there." I'm like, I ain't know he was like this in this world. Brother Bedford said, "Man, won't you speak?" I'm like, "Man, I'm not a speaker." He said, "Come on, bro. You are a speaker."
Yeah.
He said,
And even if you don't think that you are, people for sure listen.
"Yeah, well, yeah." But see, I didn't think people listen because every time I look around, they think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So when brother,
People don't like to admit that where they're getting advice from is right.
oh, people definitely don't want to
But
admit.
that's you find out just through different things that they do or later in different things that they say or how they move. They were listening.
Yeah.
They did hear me.
Yeah.
I got through, you know.
Most
But nobody gonna be, you know, they thank you so much. Some do, but more so times not than they do tell you.
Very true.
So
Yeah. So
well, go ahead.
that was it.
that was all.
That was all.
Well, thank you so much. Scheduled to be here with me today.
I enjoy
and to
it.
share your story.
I enjoy it.
Good.
Whenever I'm in your presence, I think you're getting better.
Thank you.
In more ways than one, and you're holding your own.
Thank you.
You're one of the few that don't need a host.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. I just
yeah.
gotta learn my tools and I'll be all right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here at the table with me. I definitely will see you guys next week. I do hope that you guys have a great day, a great weekend, and don't forget, this is the season of spreading joy, spreading love, and being with family. See you guys next week. Peace.
One step closer, you got to get one step closer. Closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you wanna be in life. Why? You got to get one step closer, closer to love, closer to God, closer to who you wanna be in life. Take one step at a time.